Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Jordan, and I'm back with another drawing video. In this video, I'm doing a bit of an art challenge. Every single drawing video seems to be an art challenge these days, but we're going to go with it. And I'm going to be using this white gel pen, which I normally just use for highlights, but I thought it'd be cool to do a whole drawing just using this. It was kind of inspired by Jazz's whiteout challenge or something like that. He just used like liquid paper to do a whole drawing. This is pretty similar, but I can get a bit more detail with this, and I thought it'd be really fun to do. So it'll be kind of like a negative drawing. I'll be doing it on a black piece of paper, and it should be fun. I think it'll be pretty cool. As always, I'm going to be reading a creepypasta story in the background, so I'm going to jump right into that. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So put your headphones on, dim the lights, and let's do it. This video may contain offensive language or be frightening to some viewers. Viewer discretion is recommended. The feeling of a lingering presence during solitary moments. Everybody gets that feeling. I'm sure you have too. What you probably haven't done is try to explain its occurrence. See, here's the thing. I had this feeling a few nights ago when I was in my room trying to go to sleep. I laid down, curled, facing the wall which my bed was positioned next to. I slowly but surely felt something stand behind me, as everybody does at some point in their lives. It felt like it was lording over me and staring at me to no end. The funny thing about the human psychology is that it absolutely hates unknown things, which would be why we try to come up with an explanation for seemingly enigmatic events. So, being the creative wizard that it is, my brain tried to associate this figure with a face. Unfortunately, I was somewhat terrified, so my brain, as any brain would, decided to combine the figure and the sense of fear together, to give the figure a face that would warrant such fear. The brain can't create faces, so it copies and pastes any face you've seen from anywhere. But given this context, it's usually the most nightmare-inducing face you've ever seen. Also, given the context, this horrifying figure would probably be standing right behind you. Usually at this point, rational thought would take over. You try to reason with yourself as to why your worst nightmare isn't standing right behind you. It'd usually work, and at times where it didn't, you'd usually muster whatever courage you have and turn around to look behind you. Well, at least that's what I did. And, as expected by both you and I, nothing was there. This is usually followed up by reinforcing yourself with proofs as to why there couldn't be anything behind you. I've never heard the door open, and I never heard footsteps, are usually the common ones in this scenario. You'd laugh at yourself for being stupid and go back to sleep. This is the common thought pattern associated with the eerie feeling of being watched. There's probably a branch in psychology dedicated to this feeling, seeing as it's ridiculously widespread. One thing that I can be certain about is that this feeling would always end due to what is known as lex parsimonia. This is better known as Occam's razor. It states that the simplest explanations are usually the best, and in situations such as my own, we can usually create explanations that are wonderfully wrapped in a package of rationality and reason. And that's exactly what'll get you killed. Have you ever thought about why you get these feelings? Not many people do. The downside of Occam's razor is that it blinds people from seeing another side to an event. To an average human being, for something to truly exist, it would usually need to conform to the laws of nature. If someone right next to us decided to fly around, we would almost definitely doubt our own sanity before we believe that this person is actually flying. But what if the watcher conforms to no laws? What if the reason I didn't hear the figure was because it could fly, or at least hover at will? What if the reason I didn't hear the door open was because the figure can move through objects at will? What if the reason why I didn't see the figure was because it can render itself imperceptible at will? At this point, you'd be asking yourself where the evidence for this figure's existence is. But why would such a being, one that can defy every law of nature at will, leave evidence? I mean, if it is trying to frighten me in some way, I see no reason for it to leave traces of itself so that we can conclude that it exists. Perhaps it was only there for that night, to acquire the description of the face I fear most, and that what we normally recognize as the feeling of being watched is simply a tool used by this figure to extract a facial design that we are terrified of. And what would it do with this? Make it a reality. By now you've realized that there's absolutely no reason to deny this being's existence. The only reason we would deny it is due to the figure posing a complex explanation to the feeling that someone is watching, rather than a simple one. I don't know who you are or where you are, but I hope you understand that the next time you suddenly get the thought that someone or something is watching you, just remember that you're playing the hidden game, and there's nothing you can even do about it. I saw the most horrifying thing in my life. Oh my God, Joey, what were you doing? It was the corpse of one of our characters, Boris the Wolf.